really started the spring nicely. I think in her first 5 matches or so, she's picked up 4 ranked wins. Relies a lot on her athleticism. I mean, she's got an innate ability to run down a lot of tennis balls, kind of make you play an extra shot, try to go for too much, and at the same time, she's playing with a relatively consistent focus. She's not too up or too down on herself, and yeah, just solid baseliner that makes it very difficult for the opponent.
Do you think that she is one of the best players on the team, or who do you think is the best player on this team?
We've got a lot of good players on our team, and I think that she has certainly proven that she is one of our best players, and that's reflected in the caliber of win that she's had to start this season, but also in the fall. And obviously, you know, that all our girls have different strengths, and some of them are more suited to doubles than they are singles, but yeah, Rebecca's certainly one of our best singles players.
Coming off of a strong showing at the tournament in Kansas last weekend, what can you build off of it?
Belief, I think. Kind of double-edged sword there, because I think the girls proved to themselves that they were very capable of going in and beating top 20 teams. Obviously, we were sitting there with 3-1 lead in the match against Virginia to get qualified for the national indoors, and 2 points away on one of the courts. So, you know, I think the more opportunities you get where you're in that situation, and to get over the hump would have been huge. But at the same time, I think it's very easy in a tough loss like that to jump to conclusions and try to kind of reinvent the wheel, if you like. But no, I believe what we're doing is right, and we'll stick to it, and we'll do it harder.
You're in 22nd nationally this season so far, and to be a top 20 team. So what does that success mean to you as your season?
Well, I mean, you know, that I had no part of that. You know, I had no part of that 22. That's the work that Alison's done, and the girls that were here prior, along with the previous assistant coach and their support staff. So I wouldn't take any credit for that. But in saying that, it's testament to the hard work they've done and what they've been able to, the trajectory they've gone in the last 5 years. I think all it really says is that our peers recognise that we have the potential to be good, and this early in the season, it's you know, a weekend like Kansas, you know, proves to us that we can do it, and I think the ceiling's got to be higher than 22 though.
What about Coach Jay that made it such a good spot to come to, good place to work? What has she been able to do to kind of elevate the program and make this an attractive opportunity? Yeah,
I think the communication lines are open with Alison, and that's something that's important to me. The transparency, that whether somebody wants to hear what we're saying or not is a different thing, but I think it's better that it's on the table than not. And she's very encouraging of her players and the people that she works with as well. So obviously the return back to Knoxville was desired for selfish reasons. I love being here in Knoxville. I love returning to where I went to school and where I played, and try to give back to the community that gave me a lot.
How do you see yourself building on the team's success so far, now that you are part of it?
Yeah, I think as I said earlier, across the board, the whole program, the players, the support staff, and the coaches, despite the result and how close we were, I think everybody agrees that we're going in the right direction. So reinforcing what we have already, along with trying to probably zero in the focus even more than what we have, and being really diligent with the details.
Okay, fine then.
You have this, UT, about 5 or 6 teams right now in the spring that are ranked baseball teams coming off its first NCAA tournament appearance in over a decade. just how much does that mean to you as a Tennessee guy, just to see the overall success of the athletic department? Does it seem like the athletic department's on the rise?
Absolutely, yeah. That starts from the top down. I think there's great leadership here. I feel fortunate to be a part of a group of very successful coaches, leaders, and teams that are showing it as well. So I think anytime there's success with one program, it strikes a chord with another to where they want to try to emulate that success or even do better is what you hope as an athletic department. And I think we're starting to see the beginning of that. With football's bowl win and basketball's success last year, men's tennis had a great year. Women's tennis is now putting its hand up, along with, as you said, baseball. So there's just more teams that Kelly's doing a great job with basketball. It's a good time to be here.
How special is it for you to have that full circle moment years into coach? And how is it easier for you to coach, like knowing that you've been here before?
Right. Yeah, it was a little surreal. I didn't know that the opportunity would open up. Was very happy where I was, and yeah, to be honest, at that time I wouldn't have gone anywhere else other than Knoxville. So it's I feel very fortunate and privileged to be in the role.
Right here. Being that you're a new coach here, what was your kind of main focus on improving for the team?
What we want to learn how to be good. Right? The program's been in place for the last few years where there's been baby steps leading up to this point, and I think with the success I had on my own teams, along with getting a taste of the professional tour as well, there's a lot to be learnt in terms of what the best athletes, what the best programs do daily and their approach to it. So it's more of an attitude change that I think I've been hopefully able to instill in them, along with, there's a lot of great tennis coaches as well, but I think a passion for the game of tennis and a recognition of the small amount of time that you have here in Knoxville and to maximize it.
You have a lot of superstar freshman girls on the team who are playing really well at the start of their careers. How have the upperclassmen on the roster been able to really help them with the transition from high school to get them to the level they are at?
Yeah, great question. There's Hadley Doyle and Carly Briggs and Callie Kreth. Our freshman Julie Ball's playing eligible for the first time this year, and I think there is, when you have a group of players that are all of a high level, high caliber, similar to other sports wanting to kind of push each other, that's what happens in a squad as well. And when you're playing for spots in the lineup, and when you're playing for, when there's competition on the practice courts, it's healthy. And whether you're a senior or a freshman, one thing about this freshman class is they're incredibly competitive. So I don't think that they're going in with the approach that they're just going to work their way into things and see how things evolve this freshman year. They want to be impact players right from the start, and that's very desirable as a coach.
Road trips to Indiana and Purdue this weekend. What are you expecting from those two teams? What do you guys need to do?
Yeah, I think any team that you play on the road adds a wrinkle, and they're both good teams, and will demand our full engagement, I guess. I think we've got a great team and a team that can go in there and pick up wins, but yeah, we're fully expecting to get their best.
Any more questions?